How's it going, everyone? Happy Friday out there. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're not looking at the price charts. Hope you're just. Did I coin it the other day? Delusional patience. Let's go. Delusional patience. That's. I had to look it up. I thought about. Like, is that a real thing? Is that phrase been used? I don't know. I feel like it's maybe been used before, but in this community, I don't know. I feel like there's something there. Something there. There's something that's exciting about this place that just will not stop being exciting. Not just that there's new sacrifice phase and all that, but the other thing that's exciting that I think get a lot of people, keep them around, looking for interesting games to play, places to DeFi protocols and stuff, and everything in between to put their money is the builders. The builders keep on building. The builders go burr. They go burr for a long time. So pretty good. I got one of them today. Welcome back to the show, Neil for T-Shares. How's it going, sir?
Hey, Max. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you invite me on again. I don't know how many times this has been, but it's been many.
Oh, man. It's been, Neil, it's got to be 15 or 20. Yeah, I think the last time was Hex Week, right? You came by Hex Week.
Yeah, I came by on Hex Week. I sure did.
Everyone remember Hex Week? That was really hard, and I did it. I did it. And I'm probably never going to do it again because that was too hard. That was too much work. It was too much, but I'm like, nope, got to get it done. Almost 30 hours. It's easy to forget. I think it's September. Yeah, almost 30 hours of content, and I'm definitely proud that made it happen and put in the work, and everyone participated. Amazing amount of people showed up and really said a lot of smart stuff, and it was great. But boy, that was I got into doing conferences and doing events and stuff last year, and some of them are easier than others. I feel like the 2 days that's my sweet spot. We do like a 2 day or 1 or 2 day or 1 week. It's a lot, but anyways, yeah, that's the last time I remember being on the shows. Next week.
Yep, and I've been building ever since. I mean, before then too. We haven't stopped. We've been at this for 2 years. So.
Yep, I think a couple of years ago we were talking about True 2X and some of the ideals you had around it and all that. Yeah, man, building Tetra, when Tetra Dev, what's going on? And is it still is True?
It's done. It's done and complete. And Stu is literally working on pressing the button. It's more complicated than that, and he will announce the reason why he did it. But it's done. So when it comes out, it'll come out. That's a Stu question. None of us have any control over it or influence. So when Stu's ready, he'll let everybody know. So we're kind of at his mercy, so to speak, for that one.
Is it so True? And maybe you just tell everyone too, like True DeFi, it's a like an arm of, or is it?
Yeah, it's completely separate.
Yeah, explain the True.
All right. So TrueDeFi.io, TrueDeFi.io is our company that Token Rider, Executioner, myself, and our dev put together as a separate entity. It has nothing to do with Tetra, though I'm part of Tetra as well, Tetra Labs and stuff. I understand that. I know it confuses people, but we're completely separate. Though maybe allies in obviously in DeFi, but we just completely different things. And so I went on my own with, like I said, with Token Rider and the guys, Daniel is his name, and we decided let's try to build something else because Stu was building his thing with Tetra. So I have something else, some different ideas, and so in fact, it was Daniel's original Genesis idea from his past experiences that kind of brought us all together, and we ended up putting our heads together and talking through DeFi and what DeFi is, what it means to make money, and what has and hasn't worked in the past, and why things are scams, why things are Ponzi's or hourglasses, what all happens in the past, and what though people like to play with, that never was able to be have any legs to it. There's always somebody as exit liquidity or somebody that hold the bag, so to speak. And so you ended up with a first in, first out type mindset. So it was very competitive, though very profitable for those who got in early, and popular for those who participated. So these type of things are concepts that DeFi likes, but nothing never had any sustainability. So we said, well, can we build something that people like but has sustainability that takes away some of the competition factor and the person versus person issues that most crypto has, because typically we're trading against each other, doing things that I'm trying to one up you because I want to get ahead, and you can try to one up me next time. and we're trying to remove those things. And I think with what we've developed now with True 2X as our first product, then this is where we are.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just catching up too on the history piece. I know the different products and programs and stuff too. So, okay. Awesome. It's, and we'll get into, is there a website? I'll put it up. I'll start the deal here. Is there a website I can go to?
Yeah. You can go to, double, DOUBLE.
The word double?
The word double .truedefi.io.
TrueDefi.io.
I can share the screen, show the whole thing. If you want me to share the screen, okay. I may be better.
Yeah, go for it. I was just going to pull it up while we're talking about it, but yeah, you can share it. Go there and chat. If you have any questions, let us know. Pulse Train, True to DeFi or otherwise, and we'll get into Nick can show us about it.
Yep. This is our UI from our True 2X product, and this is what we've done. This is like the quote unquote home page. This is an MVP, but it's all functional. But this is the two main pages of the auction house page and the miners page, and this is what people experience when they come in to the UI and interact with the contract. So we can start where you would like. If you got any questions beforehand, and this is a live contract on mainnet. It's in our validation test group. So this is real pulse. What you're seeing is live numbers. This is what has happened. This is how much pulse has been in the system, how many miners. This is real people playing with real money doing this. But we scaled the test down on purpose to only allow, on their honor, only deposit 100,000 pulse per wallet to keep. So it's real money because this is once the contract shut down, there's no way to pull the money out. It's when we start the mainnet. So there it is.
So not on mainnet yet, or it's on mainnet.
This is mainnet.
Limited.
This is a limited test run with a private testing group, basically.
Okay.
So we're testing the main contracts. People can familiarize themselves with them. This is new. Most people in Pulse Chain have never dealt with an auction house model before, unless you were that was popular back in the day on Tron. Maybe if you remember Baked Beans, a few other things in the past, different protocols that had that worked in some way that people kind of relate to. But those were the kind of the ideas we looked at in the past. That these things all fail. They all had problems. All had there were leaky boats and stuff like that. Poor systematic design that allowed it to fail. Well, we said, we can fix those things if we do the right things. Let's go through, and we went through the process and did. So in this protocol, there's no token. You don't have nothing to buy. We're not asking you to buy anything. You have pulse, regular old gas pulse. You can come in here and you can deposit it. You can deploy your miner. You can earn your dividends, and you can 2x, and you can leave, and that's it. That's simple. That is the base level function of the protocol. There's no, everything else is additive options that we've put in for people if they want to have, options like the compound and stuff. But at a base level, we're 2xing your pulse. There's a whole lot of mechanics behind it that allow it to do so. But we can kind of walk through. I can kind of walk you through an actual deposit if you want to see that.
Yeah. Well, real quick. How do people win? How do people lose? Like, how does the basic question like the pulse go in? How does people get more pulse?
Okay, so I'll show you where does the pulse come from? I guess is a question. Right? Where does the pulse come from? Well, in here, I know it's kind of hard to see, but 80% of all deposits go into the mining pool. There's a mining pool that exists in the contract, and 80% of the deposits go in there, and from that mining pool, dividends are distributed. Of that 80%, the other 14% of the deposits that go into the system, they go into two different categories. The first is the SRE. It's called the Strategic Reserve Engine. It's external yield generation. So it goes out of contract. We put those funds into yield bearing protocols. That yield is then generated over time, and every day that yield is generated, we bring it back into the system as fresh deposit and fresh capital into the mining pool for distribution. So there's your sustainability. So we can guarantee when we say everyone will get their 2x, they will get their 2x. Now, what we can't guarantee, we never know, is how soon. because nobody can predict the markets, the user interactions and stuff like that. But we've got the other mechanism, though, that where the pulse comes from is the 1XR miners. And it's maybe kind of hard to understand if you never looked at it before, but we have miners or like system owned users, so to speak, that go in and all they do is make deposits, and they are fed from that 14%, and they go to a 1x, means they don't take any profit. They just come in, make a deposit, break even, and they leave, and they do it again. And they do that continuously and perpetually within the system, creating volume. You couple that with the external yield with Fresh Pulse, you never have then a deficiency of fresh capital going in, and you always have volume going up. And the third thing we have, besides the users, is we have the Integration Amplifier program. It's a partner program that any protocol or any community member or community leader can utilize and request a referral ID link, unique partnered link for their protocol. So if I go to the miners page, I'll show you. We have Emit and Tetra and Gas Money. These were our models we were building. So for Tetra, for instance, Tetra then would have a link. Any Tetra user or holder who uses the partner ID link would then come, and they would then be part of the community. And every deposit they make, they get a 5% bonus. And then Tetra gets a 10% bonus. And that bonus, which sits in the contract, and goes through just like any other miner, 2x's, and 25% of its revenue, of its profits, goes in market buys Tetra. It's placed in this claim contract, and every Tetra holder can come in and claim their proportional share of what's there. And this happens perpetually because this deposits that come in are auto compound at a 75% rate, growing forever. So every time a cycle happens, the more and more Tetra is bought off the market and deposited in this claim contract, and then it allows more and more to be distributed to the people. And if somebody doesn't want it to be claimed, they can choose a buy and burn option where we just buy it and burn it off the market. Say for emits, for instance, they may want to burn theirs since they have an emission token, whereas Tetra's a fixed supply. So both options are available. So that's the third place where the yield comes from. So you have miners and capital coming in from different places, from organic users, then from the miners, from the integration amplifier participants. Then we have the rotational miners and external yield. And all four work together in a unison to bring sustainability where we can guarantee everybody will get their 2x. And there's nobody left behind. There'll be no person as liquidity. And even if someday, say in day 200, that people just leave and one new person ever comes in, that last person will get their 2x, and the system will still run because it will not need any new users at that point. It will continue to generate outside capital yield because the SRE gets bigger by 14% every single day. So it means this yield generation is bigger, and it will eventually surpass user deposits at a certain point in time.
What protocols does it go out to get yield from?
Well, we're going to use things like Vouch as a good example. We can use the Vouch's deposits with vPulse and as validator support. That's one example we'll be using. Emit's another one. They have a good protocol there with their single-side staking as well. And there'd be several other LP opportunities out there that we would use, like Fux and Todd and a few others, that we can earn yield from providing LP. But whatever we do, it'll be in a way that's not risky. We're not doing arbitrage trading or any risky trades or buying, tokens that go down or anything like that. That's just a waste of capital. We don't want to be exit liquidity either. So everything we do would have to be in a way that is a profitable and sustainable yield generation. And when Tetra launches, then we would then acquire Tetra tokens and then stake those and get the dividends from the Tetra fees.
Yeah. You want to go through I guess the deposit on this?
Sure. So a person would come into the auction house here and pretend this, if I was a brand new user, hadn't ever interacted, this gray card would not be here. But since I've been testing, it would be. But there's an inner lobby button here in the lobby. You press it, and since we're doing 100,000 pulse, that's our deposit. Now there's a referral ID option, and there's a referral program for users as well. And so I have another card up here, and I'll show you in a second, that that refers to a different wallet that I'm referring to myself. Or I could refer to you, Max. You had a wallet, and say, "Hey, man, I have an ID. I made a deposit. I'm 2,224. Sure, okay. I'll use your number, and you can get my referral, and I get yours, and we can do that game too." So my deposit is deposited, and it shows up every day as a pink card with how much I just put in, which was 100,000 pulse. And this is real pulse, and I would be assigned a unique number if this is a brand new wallet. It'd be whatever number I am in the system. So the this ID and this referral allows you to redeem what we call shares. I'll get that in a minute. But this is my pulse, and this will be eventually doubled to 200,000 pulse when I leave. If you go down, this is the table. It shows what day you're on. We are on day 8 currently in the system. It's that lobby day 8. It shows I just made a deposit. There's my deposit I made, my share rate, which is just how much I'm owed in dividends based upon my deposit, and some other numbers that just give you information about the system, which are a little complicated right now. But tomorrow, I can't do anything else now today. So all I can do is make a deposit, especially day 1. So my day deposit is one action at a time. But tomorrow, that green, the little green button here will turn to this orange button. Because right now, if I scroll down, it says I'm pending for entry. That is, I'm waiting till tomorrow to enter the lobby, to enter the mining pool. But now, on the next day, so this is my deposit from yesterday, shows a green card, and it says, I am now ready to start mining PLS. I've entered the mining pool. I can start mining now and send it out to earn dividends. I click mine PLS. I can divide that deposit up by up to 20 parts, and there's different reasons for that. Hit start miner, confirm in wallet, and then this card will then disappear from this table, and it will look like this little red line here showing that you have deposited. So you can see day before yesterday, I deposited another 100,000, and it's gone. See, disappeared. So there's my deposit now. It's being put to work, earning dividends. Now the manage miner page is where you see where you're earning. This is where we go next. Go to manage miners. Refresh my page here. And you see, this is what I just sent just now. I said go mine pulse. This is the miner right here that was sent, and it's in queue. And it's ready for tomorrow to start earning the dividends. So it takes 24 hours in between each step, and after that, then every day you earn dividends. So if you look at this card here, this is the blue card. This is day before yesterday's deposit I made. I deposit 100,000 dividends. I'm a share rate. I'm at a 1.941x so far in earnings as one day in the system. I have one miner, and I can do things and what I want. I can compound and stuff like that, or I can exit at any time. It depends if I want to take a loss or not. Like I would take a loss here if I exit at this point because I'm less than break even. But if we come up here to this miner here is now to 1.2. This is a day 3 deposit. It's at a 1.29. I'm now almost 25% ahead in my deposits. I've earned that much yield because my day 1 and 2 miners have already 2x'd. So if I want to do something here, I could, or I could exit. I can click this blue button. I have 2 options. I can compound dividends, or I can exit the miner. My choice. If I choose to exit, I can go back to my wallet, click the button. Because I have 2 miners, I divide this one by 2. I would come here, select each miner individually, click. I'm above a 1x, but I'm not quite a 2x. I could click this button here and exit. And then those funds would go back to my wallet. Or I could put a new wallet address in. Let's say I want to go somewhere else with these funds. Say I want another wallet I want to do something else with. I can do that as well. And that's basically the system. You just put it in, deploy, earn your dividends, and you can get out 2x. Now, there's more to it for earnings. There's obviously some gameplay you could do if you want to really maximize or optimize things like the referral program and the compounding. And we can talk about whatever you want, but that's the system in a nutshell and what it does. how it works, and then where the yield comes from, which is what everybody asks.
Yeah, I mean, probably the two biggest questions people are getting introduced to, projects like this is, where does the yield come from, and how long does it take to get the yield? And so you talked about a little bit about if you exit, I guess, early, then but before you break even or get any gains, that you could take a loss there. So like how do you play this where you don't, what are you signing up for to not lose any pulse once you put it in?
Well, it's kind of like if you think about how Hex is, you sign up to you make a commitment with Hex, right? You stake your Hex, you make commit, and if you wait past 50% of the time, you get your Hex back, right? Anything before then, you take a penalty yourself. You're penalized. Well, in some ways, it's not a penalty. It's just that the yield, whatever you have in yield is there, and you have to wait till you break even until you can get your yield back, with an exception. We put a system in place for those who need to get out early. It's called the miner buyback program. So if you go to the compound dividends screen, there's options down here, the compounding options. But there's one here called Request 1x Back. So if you make a deposit, and let's say, you know what, I needed my money back. I wish I wouldn't have done that for whatever reason. My car breaks down or whatever, right? I need the money for something else. You can click this button here and then hit set status. And then if your miner has earned between 0.33 and 0.88x in dividends, we will buy the miner back from you and give you your full deposit back. Period. So there is a way out early on if you get cold feet. So we have that option there available for those. Now, it's only available between those two ranges, and if you have not compounded that particular card previously. Because once you compound, you take your dividends out and you put them back as deposits in the system. So this will not be an option. But we put it here to help people so they won't get stuck in case they need the money for something else. Now, how long does it take to 2x? I can't answer that. It's variable. But we know this. As our test proves, the sooner you get in, the faster you 2x. That's all. That's what it means. It's a time thing. It's not how much, because you can only earn a 2x. You can't earn any more for each deposit.
I mean, are we talking weeks, months, years? Like, what is?
Well, our test run, the day 6 and 7, both 2x'd already. And that's only running 80. I think it was 82 wallets with 100,000 pulse each in a closed system with no extra bonuses from the SRE or the partner program, the Integration Amplifier. So we're not even having those two things support the system, and we still did 2x within a couple days. So, but now the second 2x
in 6 months from now.
Yeah. Well, no, we do. We actually, this is what will probably happen. And these systems work this way just because as the system gets heavier, it takes more and more energy, obviously, and financial capital to push people out. So there will be a time, as like all these Albatross models work this way, that as you get in, the later you get in the time in the system, say day 50, day 100, it'll take you longer than 2x than day one. And the reason that is there's fewer shares available to purchase as an individual. That's all it means, because the shares are being bought up by more and more people, groups, and entities like me. I mean, that is miners from the system.
Well,
so
just on that, so you mentioned day 200. Is that when, like, is there a time where the shares go back and people can rebuy them again? Like this?
No. So the shares are just our allocation units for counting purposes. They don't do anything for you in the sense of they don't have no value, but they give you an idea what your weight of your deposit is at that day, given everybody else's deposit. And because we have the 1XR miners and the Integration Amplifier partners, they're also competing as depositors in the system. So there's only 1 million shares available each day, and then it resets. And again, it's a counting tool. And so your share rate will change. If I go to this table, I'll show you just in 8 days that my share rate went up a little bit, then went down. It moved a little bit based upon my deposits and user interaction with everybody who's participating in the test. So this is a variable thing that will happen. And so, but the time to ROI will increase to a certain point, whatever that point is. And, it may take 6 months to 2x. I don't know. But if you think about it, how soon can you double your bag in anywhere else? If you doubled your bag once a year, would you be happy? I would. If I double my bag twice a year, I'd be ecstatic, right? I mean, we're talking about pulse. We're not talking about dollar value either. We're talking about you put in 1 million pulse, you'll get 200 million pulse back. We're not talking about dollars. So there's no money and no monetary loss here as far as the price chart. Price chart pulse is irrelevant to this protocol. It is strictly a numbers game, and it's unit-based accounting.
My question here, what's the address to review the smart contract code, or is this a trust platform?
It is right there.
Is it like verified? Can you see the source code, or is it still not verified?
Not yet. And this is on. We're still running our stuff, but it'd be right there when we do launch. It's right here.
Okay, so contract address is there, but it's not verified yet.
Not yet, because we're not launched yet. Yeah, because we haven't launched yet. This is still a test run, even though it's on May.
But the plan is for it to be.
Yes, we'll launch and verify the code. Yes.
Gotcha. Is this front end required to call this function? Can we use AnyChain Explorer? Are there admin keys?
Yes, you have to use this UI to call these functions. I don't think there's any user chain Explorer for this. I'm almost positive. Yeah, I'm positive this is you have to use the UI, and there's different reasons for that, for security and everything else for the system. And are there admin keys? Yes, there are admin keys. I mean, this system, you cannot have a trustless system built like this. It will not work without admin keys, because we have to be able to manage the miners that come in, manage the partners and their deposits and stuff like that, because that's kind of part of it. It won't work without it.
How are the testers doing, and what is their feedback? Asking for a friend.
I don't know. I mean, some of our testers are really excited. Like Smo, she's really excited about it. Yeah, the testers are doing good. They are actually enjoying it. There's a lot of good questions. And because this is new to Pulse Chain, and a lot of people aren't familiar with this type of system, that the ins and outs and some of the details, it is a learning curve, because once you get into compounding, now the basic function is simple. Deposit, deploy, earn, and 2x and leave. That's simple. But the rest of it gets a little more complicated when you start compounding, because there's reasons you would want to compound some wallets, not others, and stuff like that. So there's always options out there that we've made in the system for people to take advantage of for their benefit. We built this system to be not dependent on users at a very short time. Say in 6 months, we will not need any new users to come into the system, because the system will be self-sustaining because of the things we built, which is kind of unheard of, but that's just how it works. It's the only way we could build it to make it work with users, much less without. So we figured if we can build it without users to use, then we don't really have to worry about people being satisfied. They will get their 2x. And what will happen in the future, eventually, depending on how many users are at any given point in time, typically people, the new shiny object comes out, they move their funds somewhere else. Well, the fewer the users there are in the system, the faster they 2x, because there's fewer people, eating from the trough, so to speak. That's what it means.
That's true. Yeah. Anyone have any questions? There's a few questions, but anyone else have any questions? Put them in the chat. Get to as many as we can. Any other pieces you want to show on it, Neil?
Sure. I'll talk about compounding real quick and why you want to compound. So, everybody understands. If you understand compound interest and how it works, if you can get your head wrapped around compound interest, I think you'll see real quickly why we did it the way we did it. I'm gonna go to a different wallet and I'll show you what happened in this one wallet. No, I've not done anything in this wallet today. So when a compound happens, those dividends that were in that blue card on the other page show up as a fresh deposit in the system, and they show up here as Pulse. As Pulse is here, and so then it'll be available to send, like this one here is available to go to a new miner. So in this wallet, I started with 100,000 Pulse per day deposit. 100. That's all I've got to put anything else in. Then all of a sudden I got 168,000. Then I got 172,000 because I put 100 in. Then I got 216,000 as a deposit. Then I got 243. Then 260. Then this one I didn't make. It's actually 336. And all I did was compound everything in this wallet. And my deposits have now exceeded my organic deposit every day by putting in 100,000 a day. And what this has done is exponentially increase my earning potential. So when I deploy, if I go to I've already 2x my first 2 days, and now I've earned even more, and I have more miners out because this miner is from my referrals. It's earning, and this one's earning as well, and they're all compounding because there's a global setting called compound all that the entire wallet compounds forever. So every succeeding deposit, next deposit, is bigger. I have more weight on depositing, earning more yield, and then doubling. And so what compounding does is, in the same amount of time, if I only did the 4 steps, I deposit, I deploy, I earn, and I leave it at 2x, in that same amount of time, if I deposit, I actually either one of 2 things happen. If I wait the same amount of time, I actually get a little bit more than 2x in total because I have more miners, or I could probably 2x a little bit faster. That's what happens. And that's what compounding does in mathematically.
Question here from the red squirrel. Where does the yield come from in test run? Is it simulated or real?
It's real. There's no, we're not padding it or anything like that. It's whatever was deposited by the people was put in. The percentages were sent to we do have the 1XR miners in the test run. And we do simulate a small bit. I think it's 300,000 pulse a day is all we're simulating, is what we put in the system, simulate any of the SREs and the integration amplifier miners. That's it. So for you up to the top, we have 114 million pulse now that's been in the system after 8 days. And so that's what has been generated, gone through, and we've satisfied 2x's already from day 1 to day 2 depositors. Some are compounding, some are not. We set the thing up to where, hey, take one wallet, compound everything. One wallet, just do a few. One wallet, don't do any compounding. Just get your money back, the 1x buyback. And then another wallet, just do random stuff. And this is what happened. And so this shows us, and this just basically reinforces what we've already proven internally in our own internal models, how the yield generation works, and why we can make these statements that yes, we can be sustainable because we have external yield sources as well as internal processes increasing in a steady volume every day.
So you can forever compound your 2x if you choose to and never remove principal?
So what happens is when you hit a 2x, that miner no longer earns any dividends. All dividends can be sent back to the lobby to deposit again. That's what happens. So every miner, when it hits a 2x, it's now done. It will not earn any more yield. So you have to recompound manually or auto compound your dividends. So like this wallet here, it auto compound all the dividends in the system. So I'm growing my bag by auto compounding faster than if I just straight up 2x. That's what this means, because I'm earning extra yield over time by compounding because it gets bigger and bigger. Just like any other, just like compound interest works at the bank.
Do you have the ability to rug pull and take all of our pulse if you wanted to?
No, it's stuck in the contract. We'd have to manually shut the contract down, and that'd be the only way to do it. So there's no like, hey, let me just pull the pulse. Ooh, look at this. No, we don't have that. We've been in the community a long time. Max known me a long time. I know, and Red and others. We're all the teams doxed, and so we've been here, and we would love to build this as an immutable thing. And maybe one day we could, the contracts have been, seasoned enough and stuff. We can do some things, like renounce ownership and stuff like that. But until we're satisfied with everything on a technical level, no. That's why I said there are admin keys to make this thing function. It would not work without it. But that's just the way it is. When you build, develop, you have to make a choice. And if you want something to work, you've got to be able to manage it, especially in a dynamic situation. especially, and also with that outside yield coming in, we can't guarantee where that's going to happen. We can't. We're dependent upon somebody else's smart contract for that to happen.
Gotcha. All right. Well, if anyone has any more questions, put them in there. We'll get to as many as we can. However, we'll switch gears for a moment. Look at this picture of this very strong, healthy-looking man in the image of Sir Richard Hart. What's your thoughts? What do you got on the Pulse? Sorry, every time. I almost said Pulse X. Prove X. What are your thoughts on the Prove X sacrifice?
Prove X. Yeah, I know. I was talking to Dylan about this the other night in a private group. We were just chit-chatting. And I know where he and Buck coming from. I kind of get where and why they came up to the conclusions they did in their thought process. I mean, it was logical enough. I saw the path. I said, okay, I can see. I can't deny you come to that conclusion. It makes sense why you think Rich is doing what he's doing. But from the other side, I come back and say, well, if I'm just an average Pulse Chain and Pulse X sacrificer, and I'm down real hard in my bags, I feel a little betrayed because, like, okay, and that's just human nature and emotion. And as a business person, I look at this whole Pulse Chain. This is bizarre, but not just Pulse Chain, but crypto in general. The concept of people giving people money for nothing, literally, without any expectations and all this stuff, is counterintuitive to any business plan at all. And this can Prove X. We have no idea what we're sacrificing for. We have a concept that is nothing tangible. We have no idea the details. We have nothing to look at. No code. Nothing. So I'm like, all this is based upon trust and trust in Richard, every bit of it. Do you trust Richard to do the right thing with your money, and then deliver whatever he's talking about delivering in Prove X and the technology that he's talked about? That's what it boils down to. So people are free to do what they want. I love Richard to death. I think the guy's really smart. I sacrificed for all his stuff, already. I'm Hexagon, all the things, and I got 15-year stakes and the whole 9 yards. I'm heavily invested in everything Richard's ever done. And so I think, I'm waiting for Richard to basically come in, and ride in on the white horse and save the day with our bags. Because until he does, we need to retail them. Because we by ourselves, we are not enough. We don't have enough economic energy. We need outside yield in the Pulse Chain.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to write in and say save this type of deal, but I think hopefully he'll strike some sort of match where it'll be easy for retail to come in. Hopefully, I mean, I think that's the optimal scenario. Who knows? Maybe we'll just be like, oh, yeah, you're just going to $1 billion and just make everything amazing. But I think that even without using a drop of that, there's all kinds of influence and all kinds of different, again, outbound marketing and the product itself and the users and the community. A lot of things we can do to get people in. But it's just, I think that's the hard part. It's like people aren't going into crypto right now. It's been the weirdest cycle so far I've ever seen. And this is my third one. And right. I think that's the key part, I would say. It's just like, no matter what he does, it's like, do people want to go buy these tokens? Like, no matter Pulse or ETH or whatever it is, are they going to go buy the tokens? And then how do we get them to buy these tokens and get in this ecosystem and build over here?
Yeah. Well, we're working on actually in what we built with True2X. We have the capability of going multi-chain. It's already built in our structure. And so once we will launch this product again to double your Pulse X. That'll be the next time we do this. When this one's done and out and it got its legs under it and we're happy, we'll go and do the same thing again with Pulse X and double your Pulse X. And then a proof of concept will be finished and people will realize what's going on and how it works. But we'll be able to go multi-chain eventually. People can bring their capital to Pulse Chain and utilize the tool, which is good because then we can bring eyes on Pulse Chain and hopefully value over here. And that is what we're aiming to do is be a value sharing tool, cross chain, and that and Pulse Chain would then benefit from those actions.
One of them other one I want to pull up real quick is people don't realize there's a lot of people where they're saying good or bad stuff. Boy, they're talking about Pulse Chain. And even during these times, what do you think we're gonna? I mean, the marketing we saw, people getting tablets kicking off, new people talking about it, and new influencers and all that stuff too. What do you think is going into the new year and Christmas and all these times? Like, how hot are we gonna get? What are we waiting on?
We're waiting on the markets. The world markets are running the show right now. Bitcoin and Ethereum are now tied directly to all the TradFi, period. That's just the way it is now. All the ETFs, everybody want ETFs. This is what you get. Now you got Goldman Sachs and BlackRock and all these people who now can manipulate and do what they want to do. And there's so much leverage out there on all these assets that they are just messing the charts up. And no longer is it real tangible Bitcoin that is being held or sold or traded. It's all paper Bitcoin. So I think that's the issue until the world markets take a turn. I know the money printer's about to go burr here shortly based upon what's happening like in Japan and their debt issues. I know they're looking to drop interest rates again shortly. I think Powell's got 2 to 3 months left on his term. I know Trump wants them out sooner, but those are the things. We need interest rates to drop. We need the money printers to be turned on, and we need people to look at risk on assets as a place to store their capital. Because we all know it's going to happen again. All our dollars are going to be devalued, just like it did after COVID or during COVID. And here we are paying, exorbitant prices for everything, and our wages haven't gone up at all.
Yeah. Interesting macro conditions out there. I don't know. What do you? I mean, you got the macro, you got Pulse Chain, building on it. What is something that we haven't seen? I mean, you got ProveX. It could be a killer app. We've got, you building stuff and lots of builders and community just launching stuff and stuff we haven't even seen yet. I mean, 2026, Alex from Hedron might come back and start doing some amazing stuff too. Like, what makes you hopeful about the ecosystem going forward?
Well, I think I'm hopeful for Pulse Chain just in general because we're still a young chain, and we have our liquidity is getting lower and lower, so the amount of economic energy it takes to pump it won't be smaller and smaller as time goes on. No matter who, if it's retail or Richard, whoever, right, pumps it. But we decided to build on Pulse Chain because we're here, but it doesn't go down. It's secure. It doesn't. You don't have problems with your validators and stuff like that. You can't. If we were trying to build on Solana, it would go down. We'd be pulling our hair out. It mess our contract up and everything else, or SUI or whatever. All these that are BNB even who have who have a centralized validator ownership. It's terrible. People don't realize how bad that is. And I've been on chats, all these people. Oh no, it was turned off because it was a safety mechanism. Well, look, you roll back the chain. All those profits people made because somebody else screwed up, who did it honestly, done lost money. I can't help it. You had a bad product on your chain. That's not the people's fault, but the people now suffer because somebody did something, or had to exploit wherever it was in the code. So, but we don't have that Pulse Chain. We can reliably build on it, and it will still function, and it's decentralized. And we don't have to worry about anybody turning it off or blacklisting any wallets. And that's a nice thing to have. Now, it's got its quirks, don't get me wrong, on a technical level, but all in all, though, it's an EVM fork that's been sustainable and durable no matter what's happened. Even that Cloudflare incident, other than a handful of dApps not working, most everything, the chain worked just fine. So, yeah, I've kind of grown fond of Pulse Chain and all the things and the people and the friendships. And we have a really, really, really strong community. But we're also finite. And that's the biggest issue. And we become an echo chamber, and we all know the same people, and it's the same people in the same Telegram groups doing the same thing, basically trading money with each other all throughout the chain because we don't have enough new capital coming in outside. And that's the sad part, what we've done. And then you have these people who are just extremist maxis of any one position or another, no matter what it is. I don't care, but they take certain positions about things, and they want to either talk bad about projects or stuff like that, or some people there's so many rug pulls that we've had through all these different iterations of different scams, and people get rinsed. Remember the little girl that's supposed to develop on something and rinsed everybody from Gunther and all that mess. It's just sad that right. So, but yeah, but the chain has a lot of potential. I think we have a lot more upside potential than most chain, just given who Richard is and what he's built. And we have a lot of quality DeFi tools on this chain, a whole lot, more so than most any other chain. I mean, compared to Cardano, look at us. I mean, we're like light years ahead of Cardano in DeFi. And we have some of the best yields in DeFi, bar none. Period. I mean, DeFi Llama, you look it up, they're not paying anything. But we pay way better. And now, why is that? That's just maybe it's better design, smarter people, better things. But I think we are, I think we are a good shining city on the hill as a chain. It just takes more. We just need more retail and more capital coming in to have green candles to attract even more people.
All right, just in J-Dub saying, remember the stream you both had about how to take profits early 2024? Yes, the Making Money series, which Neil was on, and that's actually
I remember that.
Let me pull it up. I mean, it's not that it's not still going to be relevant going forward. I'm sure a few things will change here and there, but yeah, if anyone's interested, that's a great pull that up real quick. Used to do a lot of different series. Got a playlist. By the way, almost at 3 million. I don't talk about stats very much, but almost at 3 million views. I noticed that. Pretty cool. Almost there. 3 million. I remember when I was almost at 1 million, I was like, and I hit one. I was like, we're at 1 million views. That's 3 million. Imagine a bull run.
Right.
Anyways, the where are we at? Making Money in Crypto. Yeah, this actually, I almost want to go back and re-listen to some of this too. A couple years old, but I mean, a lot of the basics and a lot of the stuff there. Remember, me and Neil had the stream like, how do you the exiting? Remember how to exit without selling and like keep money in and make deal DeFi. We had a lot of like really deep dives on conversations around the ecosystem too. So, Making Money in Crypto series. I'll put the link in the chat. You may want to check it out. Pretty cool. Yeah, Dylan was on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Axis, Sloth, Neil. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Now we're doing ProveX videos.
Yeah,
I guess ProveX.
Yeah.
Conference.
So whatever ProveX is going to end up being, as far as what technically, whatever the program or software or the DApp or whatever is going to end up being, or maybe a little bit of all, whatever that ends up being and how it is used. I just hope that whatever Richard is going to do with that and what he's developing, he's going to have more market pull than just us. That's, he's out there beyond just the community pushing this product so that it will be available to the masses so they can utilize it, and then therefore hopefully some of that those funds will trickle back into the Pulse chain.
As far as I remember, there's not a stitch of space on that website that talks about Pulse chain other than you can sacrifice stablecoins from Pulse chain on there. Do not send Hex or PLS or anything else. Reminder, we're reminding people to the end of time because apparently some people did it and it sucks to lose money. Before we wrap up here though, Neil, what is the next debate? What's the next debate? 15 on here, Neil. 15. What's the next debate?
Debate. I don't know. I mean, do I debate? We already talked. I mean, do I debate content, or do I, or who Richard would debate?
What's the? Well, I mean, I guess the question it would be like, what is the question that the people have a very strong opinion on both sides?
Well, right now, is Richard scamming people out of more money with ProveX? That'd be like, that's the question I see on chain, online and X and stuff, like
the sacrifice debate.
Yeah, are sacrifices worth it, right? Or, I mean, right now we would all say no. Every one of us, because our bags are down, and every single sacrifice on Pulse Chain. I don't know if any sacrifice that is up, or you got your value back from what you sacrificed in dollar terms. Can you think of one? I can't. But
Neil, what if this time is different? I mean, I know it's easy to say that, but at the same time, you heard Buck's point and stuff, right? Of like, this thing is going to have a very, very low valuation, probably. Like, if it does in these kind of market conditions, if this is the bottom, getting the Elon Musk deal, there's that, which is an interesting one. But you don't subscribe to that one.
I can't deny that whole thought. I mean, I get it. and I'm actually, leaning, I'm almost like a neutral in the whole thing, but I see where Buck's coming from. And because why would he do it? What's the point of doing this? Why would you ruin your reputation and get no money and be embarrassed as far as in a monetary sense, in total, receipts, if you were just, you don't need the money. It's like, it's silly. So we know we don't need the money, right? So like, why do this? Is there some other factor involved that we're just not seeing, that he just wants people to lock in, for whatever reason? Or maybe those people who do lock in maybe will get rewarded really heavily because it's, and that's a good analysis. I can't deny that.
Neil's like, I'm about to sack for this thing.
I've already talked about Dylan personally about it, but yeah, I do think though that people need to just think really carefully, because here's another thing we don't know: how long it will take from end of SAC to the actual launch of whatever this product is. We have no idea. We know what the product is really, so then we have no idea when it'll be launched, just when the SAC ends. So what if we have to wait another 2 years after the SAC's over for this PROVE to launch? Well, how would you feel? Now in the bottom, you gave up money. Now you have to wait 2 more years. So it's like, man, come on. I don't know if it will.
I guess the counter to that would be like, what if you're giving up the money? Like, again, the completely flip-flop macro conditions. But before, everyone sacked in euphoria. Now everyone's sacking at despair. That's the only thing I would see is like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, if that's the answer, is like, okay, we're doing another sacrifice now because it's an easy win theory of like, easy win, low valuation, easy for price to go up. This needs to happen to ignite Pulse Chain into the new Vacro QE environment type deal. I'm not saying that like that's going to happen, but if it did happen that way and that was the answer and that was the speculation and that's what Richard was going for, I'd be like, yeah, maybe that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I just, at the end of the day though, none of our bags are going to pump unless somebody comes in and buys them up. It's that simple. We have to have buyers. I mean, everybody's extracted and left. The whales, the larger groups, they've all took their money and they left the chain. We saw them. It's all on chain. It's not a secret. And those are left in the trenches. We're just, doing what we can to, maintain value. So we built True2X to help you maintain value, because you're not exchanging your Pulse or anything else but Pulse. It's the same stuff. There's no, so because there's no token, and we didn't even have a sacrifice, by the way. So we didn't take any community money to build this. We did it all out of our own pockets. So this is something that we've done, basically benevolently, to help people, and not even have a token to sell. So we're not even extracting your value from that. So, I mean, we've done everything we can to be up and up about this and try to create a system where there's no, PvP fighting. It's just, you come in, you use the system, you get your double, and you leave. And you can compound if you want. It's optional. But we built it to be a multi-cycle tool. So this cycle will do whatever, and on the next cycle, it'll do whatever it's going to do. And it'll keep running, because it's just a machine with a lot of cogs and wheels going through it that are going to generate the yield necessary to satisfy all users who enter in.
All right. Think anything else, or where can people find out more about True2X and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, I'll put the link of the True DeFi's chat in the in chat here, and they go here, hop in the chat, ask questions. We're always there. You can DM me. I work number 4 crypto. You can always DM me, ask me questions. I'm always around. I know I got tons of DMs of scammers, but I can tell who asks legitimate questions. But yeah, we're always here. We're trying to help out. We're asking. We're in the chats all the time. I'm doing videos. I have a ton of videos I've done on how True2X works. So if you have any questions, just feel free. I have my YouTube channel. So come to my YouTube channel, Deal for T-Shares, and you can see all the stuff I've done. Overviews and details going through the UI. It will be a learning curve for some, but all in all, though, the 4 simple steps makes it easy. And if you want more complicated, more red squirrel level strategies, then you might have to spend a little time learning all the mechanics.
All right. Thank you for building on Pulse Chain. Buyers and builders need buyers and builders on Pulse Chain. And that's all we got for you today. Sci-Vibe and 5555. We are out.